What's up, people? Brother Brian here, looking scruffy as ever in the garage, man. I want to do I'm hoping a quick video of my initial response of my new setup. I've got a new MC setup for my turntable. I wanted to go in that direction. I've always kind of wanted to go into that direction. And, hear what it's. I knew it was going to be good. I've heard just too many audiophiles have the MC cartridge. So much to choose from. You know, I mean, it's in a whole nother rabbit hole, man. I mean, you can. It's a rabbit hole. It's like they've got all kinds of different settings, cartridges for different tone arms and stuff. And just wanted to kind of let you know what I did. Show you the direction that I went in. I did a video here, I don't know, about a week ago because I wanted to do a low output MC cartridge. They make a lot of high output MC cartridges, but I wanted to do a low output. To me, it just seemed like the right direction, right? I just wanted to do. It's kind of old school. It's like the way they used to do things, and I'm kind of an old school kind of person. I did take some notes. I'm not going to read all my notes, but I'll kind of go over a few things. I ended up getting, as far as my cartridge, I ended up getting the Denon DL103R. And I did a lot of research on different cartridges. I was kind of leaning towards the Hannah. They made some nice low output MC cartridges, which I'm sure are fabulous. But I really didn't want to spend $1,200 on a cartridge that I've never listened to before. So I did some research. I was on there looking at prices. I was checking out reviews. Talking to different people about cartridges, and this is the direction I went. I went with the 103R. These are kind of hard to find. Um, Upscale Audio sells them. They're sold out. Uh, they're really hard. I mean, most people are sold out, and it's usually a sign that it's a good cartridge. They make a 103, and you could find the 103s. There's a lot of 103s out there. There's a lot of 103s where these guys are tricking them out, where they customize them. And I think it's the Needle Daddy. He's on eBay, and he gets these 103s, and he tricks them out with, like ruby stylus, different types of cantilevers, um, body shells. I mean, it's like the 103 has a very strong kind of a cultish following, which is, I love that. I'm like, this thing's got some magic if people, are into it that much. So I said, I'm going to do it. I found one on Amazon. They had one on Amazon. It was $4.99, and I ended up getting it. I said, well, they've got one on Amazon. I bought it. A couple of days later, it arrived. And I contacted the guy that I bought my step-up transformer from. That he said it would work fine. He said that would be a good cartridge for me. Now, you could spend a lot of money. Even $1,200 on the Hannah, that's nothing. When you start going down this wormhole, that's nothing. I mean, you could really spend. Uh, the the step up transformer. I just wrote it. I wrote down some information here just in case you're interested. It's PJL Electronics. The guy's on eBay. The model number is the 119226MC step up transformer. Okay, and it has Lundau LL9226 transformers in them. Okay, and I come to find out that there's a lot of people that use this step up transformer. It's made in Switzerland. It's a Swiss made company. Lundahl has been in business since the 1954, 1950. They've been making transformers in Switzerland for a long time. And if you know anything about things that are made in Switzerland, they really make some beautiful things. Whatever they make in Switzerland, man, as a machinist, if you see a machine that's made in Switzerland, it's a beautiful machine to run. They're usually rock solid, and and I didn't really know this when I bought it. I bought it. It was the price I paid for my step up was $340. So I ended up spending $880 for my step up transformer and my cartridge, and that's kind of on like the cheap side, unless you go for a high output MC cartridge. So I get it. My initial thoughts was number one, I was glad to get it because I've got a really nice toad arm. I've got a Dynavector 507 toad arm, and I was using the Nagioka MP200 cartridge, moving magnet cartridge on it, and it worked fine and it sounded great. It's a great sounding cartridge, right? And let me tell you that I expected when I first hooked it up, and I did the alignment on my toad arm, got everything lined up, square, level, got the tracking force. They recommend the tracking force, I think, on the Denon at 2.5 grams. Right now, I have mine set at 1.9. I'll probably increase it a little bit. The Dynavector toad arm, it handles it fine. Okay, the Denon cartridges are heavy cartridges. Okay, so you have to be careful to make sure that your toad arm is suitable for a heavier cartridge, because you put it on and it's gonna weigh more than probably most cartridges, that as far as moving magnets. Like if you're gonna upgrade, make sure that your toad arm can handle that type of weight. Which the Dynavector, you could put a shoe on the end of it and it'll hold it up. I mean, it's just a fabulous toad arm. So I got it on there, got it leveled, hooked up the step up transformer. I'm running it into my right now, I'm always moving things around, but right now I've got it hooked up to my counterpoint preamp. The photo section is my Project DS2 box, which I love. That thing sounds fabulous. It's so quiet, so clear and clean. It's like a tube hybrid, very versatile. My amplifiers, I've got the Dynaco Mark IIIs with the KT88s, and then of course I've got my JBLs. Right? I love my JBLs, man. They're just a fixture in my living room. I love the way they sound. And when I put it on and I took the Nagioka off, I expected to hear an improvement. Right? Common sense. But I didn't think it was going to be a drastic improvement. I figured it was going to be like maybe a percentage, it would be some percentage above the Nagioka. But I'll just tell you, it was a dramatic difference. I mean, it was like 50% better. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe how much. I mean, it wasn't just a percentage. It was 50%. It was, it was way better. Even now the pack, it's not even broke in yet. There's a break-in period of 30 hours. I haven't even hit the break-in period yet. I listened to some music, different types of music, some jazz, rock, classical. obviously some acoustical stuff, and I'm hearing things that I've never heard. It's just amazing, man. It's so quiet. I think what it is, it's just so quiet. The background and everything is just, it's so clean and it's so quiet that it allows it to hear things. I was listening to one thing that kind of blew me away is I like Pink Floyd The Wall. It's one of my favorite albums. And I was listening to The Wall. There was a part on the album where I was sitting there listening to it, and I'm hearing something. And I'm hearing this airplane just fly, and it's just so clear. I'm like, I don't remember hearing this airplane. It was just so clear and clean. You could tell that it was an airplane, right? And it was that song, remember, where she goes, "Look, mommy, there's a plane up in the sky," and then he starts playing the acoustics, man, and I was just like, oh my God, I've never heard that before on that album. I mean, it was goosebumps, man. It was like, wow. The, uh, the RII curve on it, man, it is so analog. Because, records are analog. You're going to get an analog sound, but it's like when I'm listening to it, it's like I could have the volume kind of at like a little bit, not loud, but a little bit loud. It gets really low. It just, the volume goes really low, and then it goes really high. Then it comes back really low. I mean, the separation and the analog is just incredible. Because the way that it causes me to think. Because the way the movie Coil, the MC Cartridge, it doesn't come apart. It's everything is made. It's directly made into there. So everything is, there's no taking it apart. There's no interconnects or anything like that. Where it's all wired together. One channel. Going into the step up transformer. There's a transformer for one channel. There's a transformer for the other channel. It's passive. It doesn't plug into the wall. And then it goes into the preamps, and then it goes into the KT88, which they're isolated. You have one amp for one channel, one amp for the other channel. Goes to the speakers, man, and it's just separation. It's like listening to two separate monoblock systems at the same time. I mean, the balance is, they have a, let me pull this out and show you. But they've got a little chart here that comes with when I bought this, where they test each cartridge. Okay, and the separation from one channel to the other channel is 0.32 millivolts. 0.32 millivolts separation. So I mean, it's like two mono systems, man. It is incredible. It's awesome, man. I love it. It exceeded my expectations. It really did. I expected an improvement, but I did not expect a drastic improvement. So, and you got to keep in mind that it's a wormhole too, man. It's a wormhole. You can't just think that your experience is going to be my experience, And I guarantee there's systems out there that are way better than mine, okay? Way better than mine. But the way my system's set up and it's separated and isolated, you know, and that Dynavector tote arm, man, is an incredible tote arm, okay? And that thing tracks perfectly. I mean, it is just beautiful. It is beautiful. The way, I mean, there's nothing crazy going on. You know, and I would get a little bit of noise with the moving magnet, and I get no noise with this. There is no noise. There's no background noise or anything. The record plays quieter, cleaner. It just tracks better. It's just everything about it is just better. And yeah, so that's my initial uh, response to what's going on. So I'm going to keep listening to it. Let me see if I've got something written down here that maybe I forgot. Yeah. Number one, I put down, I said the clarity was a great improvement. Because I was taking notes, I was listening to it, and I was writing things down as I was listening. You know, having a Dynavector 507 tone arm, it makes no sense to have a less than cartridge on it, and that's kind of another reason why I wanted to, you know, upgrade. And I thought this was a great way to do it, and it was. So having the Dynavector tone arm, now I have a better suited cartridge. The clarity was a great improvement. The vocals were much easier to understand. When you listen to it, you can hear things and understand what there's. I mean, it's just way easier to understand what's being said. I told you it's quieter. Number two, it's quite allowing the music to stand out more. Number three, the separation was crazy. That's what I wrote down. The separation is just crazy. Number four, it just makes things, this new setup makes things funner and more lively, and it just makes a more pleasant listening experience. It's definitely more organic. They started making these Denon cartridges, these 103s in 1964. I wasn't even around then, right? So that's how long they've been around. They used them in a lot of radio stations and stuff. Um, yeah, yeah. And the number six thing I put down, it just took the whole analog experience to another level. So yeah, that's where I'm at. The 103R, to me, that's not that expensive. I mean, $500 for a cartridge, yeah, that's not cheap, but it's also not that expensive. I would definitely recommend the Lundau LL9226, by PJL Electronics. I got a link in my last video I did. 119226MC is the model number. And let me say something about the MC step up transformer. Okay, I was curious. It came with all these resistors, and I'm like a little confused by this. I took the cover off and I looked inside, right? And there's a place where you can unscrew. It's got a little place where you can unscrew and pull out these resistors, and you can just easily screw in different resistors. And then it has a switch on the front for your right and left for each transformer for a gain of 10 to 20 depending. I think mine's set at 10 right now, and it's plenty loud enough. So it's very, very nice sounding, and it's very versatile. A lot of the step-up transformers, they're not versatile far as having an easy way to change the resistors and fine-tune each cartridge. So for 300 and something bucks for this, with some beautiful Swiss transformers, yeah, to me it was a no-brainer. I think it's a blessing that he's actually up there in Jersey doing this, man. So that's all Brother Brian's got for you, man. I'll be back at you here pretty soon, man, with another one. I hope everybody has a wonderful Memorial Day weekend, man. God bless y'all, man. I'm out of here.